Hello, everybody. Welcome to EverQuest. Everyone's favorite game. I know mine is. Alright, let's just broadcast that we're live. Alright, we're going to be doing some EXPing. And hopefully winning. This guy. This guy. Who is this Hakogani guy? He seems to be a little bit mad. Did you just tell me what game I'm playing, bro? So mad. Alright. Let's see. You. Yeah. Try not to get myself killed. Alright. Whoa. So we're doing some EXPing over here. In the zone, the rogue mobs is not what we want. We want to avoid the rogue mobs, but we happy to have a few, so now we got a situation to deal with. We got ourselves a situation. So I'm gonna try to deal with it best I can. Using tricks. Yeah, almost there. Almost got rid of the rogue mobs. Oh, shit. So it's been a few days. I haven't been to Maiden's Eye in a little while, or at least like 3 days, I think. So I hope the monsters miss me as much as I miss them. You can never tell, but I hope they do. Just don't know these things, you know. There's no direct direct communication I have with these lovely monkeys and bats, but who knows? Maybe it is a reciprocal relationship. Alright, I wonder if I have enough mobs in the kite yet. Maybe I'll come back. Turn back to base. I think we should be good. Hard to tell, but the limit is 80. I might be close to that. Oh, when's this guy falling? He'll dispel me as well. What a jerk. Alright, I need to murder this guy. Yay. Cool. Mobs. Nah, the trick is not to die. Key to success is not to perish. Yes, I'm running. Hey, Ziff. How you doing, buddy? Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Just doing my usual fighting in Maiden's Eye, trying to get some experience. Just finished work, had some dinner. Time for some EverQuests. How's your weekend been? You've been winning? Hey, nice. Thank you for subscribing, my man. Good stuff. Appreciate it. Nice. How's your leveling progressing? You get to level 68, you got your 100 AAs. Oh, speaking of, I need to update that AA guide on the forums. I mentioned that I would do some updates for POP, but I haven't done it yet. Maybe I'll do it over the next few days. Do a little draft. Yeah, man, nice. Thanks for supporting the stream. It's people like you that make this possible. You see? More alts. Nice. That's usually how it goes. I know that feeling. You're like, hey, whoo! Look at these nice new shiny things. Woohoo! It's quite fun because the bazaar items are quite cheap, so it's very friendly to starting new characters. You know, you can get a G tunic for cheap and some good weapons, and you're set. You can go level up melee character or whatever you want, or tank. What did you start? What are your characters? Titus. I'm afraid it's terminal, my friend. There's no recovering from this terrible affliction. I've got like 20 level 60s and I'm still creating new alts, so it's very much something you'll be doing forever. Especially in PoP, you know, when EXP is quick and everything is exciting. You can go on, create new characters, join some groups, have some fun. Oh yeah, Bard Warrior Druid, nice, nice. That's quite versatile. I'm actually, there used to be a Barbarian Warrior in Destiny that was a Warrior Druid and a Bard, I believe. I saw him killing through Sebolus. It's quite cool. You can mez, pacify, slow. You got very good utility. And of course you move very quickly because Bards have Bard speed. It's quite good fun. Good fun trio. Druid heals will be difficult until you get to level 58, I think. Level 58 is when you get the good heal. So if you can hang on until then, it will be rewarding. You get an even better heal than PoP as well. So if you can hold on, get the Druid to level 58 as quickly as you can, you'll be set. Bards are very fun though. I do like my Bard. I don't think I ever played it until this server. Never really had a Bard. And this character that I'm playing, Fashion Quest, was literally just created to what I did is I just got a bunch of mismatched colored plate armor and got him to level 20 so that I could have a surname of Fashion and then surname Quest. And just set him in POK wearing as mismatched armor as I possibly could. So I had like, you know, Singing Steel green, and then Bronze orange, and then Ruby Sid red. And then I made some fine plate armor dyes. So I made like yellow stuff. No, I had like Golden Bracer for yellow, and then I made some like dark blue stuff. And yeah, it was just like as mismatched as I possibly could, like mithril legs and that kind of stuff. So I just had him sitting in POK looking like a fruit. Like a piece of colorful fruit. And then I don't know what motivated me to level him. I don't know at what point I decided that I'm like, oh, I'll get him higher level. Because I remember when I leveled him up, I got him to Plane of Hate so I could get him a full suit of that Bard armor. I forget what it's called, but it's the Plane of Hate. Not Insidious, it's Imbrued Plate Mail, I think. So his bag is actually just full of like colorful plate armor. I've got like no bank space because it's full of it's full of like colored dyed plate. I need to figure out what to do with all the plate armor. Maybe I need to AFK him at the bank somewhere. Go back to living his true self. So yeah, bards are fun. They're really good for killing dragons. So if you ever kill Kunark dragons or even later dragons, they can give you really good resists, and they're quite fun. But warrior is very gear dependent, so they can be very expensive. Be careful with that one. you need... I guess if you can get him good weapons, if you can save up some plat... Yeah, it takes a while to get used to bards. It's very different in casting spells. It's having to like switch, especially if you multi-box, like between a druid and a bard, it can get very confusing. One thing I would recommend is making hotkeys like this for songs. So, manually have a hotkey that plays each song gem. See, I've got like the first 6, song 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the hotkeys are the same. It just changes which song you cast. And what that does is it removes the need to double tap songs. It takes, once again, a little bit of getting used to, but it means you can just play one song with one hotkey press instead of having to double tap the spell gems. I'd recommend it because it makes things easier. It's a good thing to get used to earlier, because I find sometimes if you tap the song gems, I don't know, like if you tap them 3 times or something, it kind of doesn't play. It's a little bit weird. Like it looks like it's playing a song, but it doesn't. So it's kind of like singing a ghost song. That doesn't really happen if you make a hotkey. So it's a very basic hotkey, a stop song. So initially it just stops playing whatever it was playing before, and then cast spell gem, and it just plays it with one hit. So you don't have to like tap to stop and then tap again to start. I found that helps. I did, you know, like play with double tapping for the first like 3 years before I switched to this song hotkey configuration. So it took a little bit of effort to get used to it from how I previously used to do it, but it was worth it. I would recommend it. But yeah, warriors are very expensive, so be careful with that one. You need you're basically completely gear dependent, right? So you have nothing except your gear. Warriors do have lots of clickies, so it's quite fun. You have a lot of utility. You can like invis and levitate, and you get a bunch of clickies for aggro and that kind of stuff. So be prepared to have lots of items in your bags, and they are very gear dependent. So you need good plate armor, high ACHP stuff, and of course aggro weapons. So your primary concern should be if you can hold aggro in a group. So you will need, I guess if you can afford a Scepter of Destruction, if you can afford 2 Scepters of Destruction or a Scepter of Destruction and a Blade of Carnage, you'll be good. Helmet of Relic Zek is really cheap as well. That's a really good item to get. The Helmet of Relic Zek is actually quite insane. It's such a crazy item. It's like wearing a breastplate on your head. No, but you can only have one BOC because it's lore. You can have multiple SODs. So whatever you can afford. I think a Blade of Carnage, they used to be on par. It used to be the same price. But I think Blade of Carnage now is worth more. I think they're like 60, 70k, whereas a SOD you should be able to pick up for like 40 to 50k. But you can only have one Blade of Carnage, so you need one BOC and one SOD. That's the best combo. Cheaper combo would be Wave Crasher. So if you can get your hands on a Wave Crasher, they're actually really good. Yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know. You can try it and see how it works out. I haven't done the math myself on what is better to main hand versus offhand. I think it's about the same. The SOD is quicker, but it's got a worse ratio. But it is damage, right? So if you want to maximize procs for DPS, then an SOD would be a better choice because you get more procs in the main hand, so you'll get more damage procs. And because it's quick, it'll apply the damage bonus a little bit more, but it is a worse ratio. So instead of 15-20, you got 12-18. But it's a really good question. It's a tough one to answer. I don't know. I think when I had it, I just had BOC in main and SOD in offhand, but yeah, whatever. It's similar, so I wouldn't stress too much. Whatever you prefer. You can do some tests yourself. See what you like better. Ooh, look at all these trap mobs. So yeah, if you can afford, I don't know, 110k for a BOC and a SOD and a good haste item, so like a Cloak of Flames is good. You're probably not going to get a 41% haste item, so Cloak of Flames would probably be the best. You need to be in I think a raiding guild to get a 41% haste item. Probably the I don't know. People don't hunt Doomshade very often, so the rarity of it is hard to say, but the earring from Doomshade is a 41% haste item, which is really, really good if you can get your hands on it. You would probably need about 2 to 3 groups of people to kill him, and he is usually not killed, so might be an easier raid mob to get. Otherwise, you need to do like Dozakar quests or I don't even want to recommend Plane of Sky quests because the quest for the 41% haste belt for warriors is pretty much unobtainable. You gotta kill bees, I think, which nobody does, so it's pretty much never gonna happen. So 41% haste item would probably be like Dozakar, which is once again a rotation raid thing. But yeah, just worry about getting a 36% one. So Cloak of Flames, or you can get a Spiked Seahorse Belt, which is 34, or Cowl of Mortality, but if you get a cowl, then you can't wear the Helmet of Relic 6, so Helm of RZ would be a far superior hit piece. Alright, let's kill some monkeys, I guess. Yeah, Warrior's fun, but you've chosen a very gear-dependent class. What level are you at? Because for PvP, Knights are almost as good of a tank as Warriors. They get far better armor class soft cap returns than right now. So you actually get very, very close to Warrior's tanking ability. However, you have far more utility, and you also have far more threat generation through your spells. So if you're not too invested in your warrior, I would suggest maybe look into maybe doing a Shadow Knight or a Paladin. Okay. Any reason why you switched from your Shadow Knight? Because they're really, really good. I mean, the utility you get from pulling and pet pulling and the snares and feigning and divine aura and far better threat generation is, I would say it offsets ability, like Warrior's ability of like 5% better tanking. For raid encounters, of course, Warriors are superior because they get the defensive discipline. But outside of the defensive discipline, in group situations, I would say hybrids are going to be superior. Is your Shadow Knight an ogre? Did you pick the master race? The Master Race. Oh! Alright, you went for the fashion instead. That's commendable. Our top Jedi Knight in our guild, I think, is a Dark Elf. Name is Lamia. If you want to look her up. Lamia. She has very good items. Very, very good items. And with quite a bit of effort and looking very fashionable. She's got a set of armor that is focused on top fashions. So priorities are there. Trying to pull a single skeleton, trying to get killed. Oh dear. Yeah, that's right. Doesn't matter, look good. You will dominate those mobs with your superior looks and fashions. Yeah, I've got a warrior and a paladin, and I'm still not sure exactly what I'm gonna play more in PoP. My warrior, they're both really, really well geared, and the warrior is played on raids quite a lot. I created them because at the time we were short on warrior tanks, and I created them like out of necessity to help out guild to make sure we can tank things and stuff. And then we ended up getting a whole bunch of warriors, so I don't play him as much as I used to, but I still play him quite a lot. So he's really good, really well geared, A8 and all that stuff. But paladin is quite fun. It's got quite good utility. And in PoP, there's actually a few encounters where you need hybrid tank because of an AA called Fearless. So Fearless is a class AA that makes you immune to fear spells. And there's a couple of encounters in PoP that actually need it. One being Rider Dar, which is a Halls of Honor event. He's this badass dragon. So I believe for that mob, you use a hybrid tank. I think both Paladins and Shadow Knights get the AA to be Fearless. And also in Plane of Time. In Plane of Time, Phase 4 or Phase 5 is Inaruk, who is one badass mofo, and he also has a very high resist here. I don't know if it's a proc or just an AE. And for him, I believe we also use a Paladin or a Shadow Knight main tank. Yeah, Lamia does have insane gear. Like, absolutely ridiculous. She has spent very significant amounts of DKP for all those items. and it's absolutely insane. You are correct. When people focus... Oh, shit. When people focus their gear selection on few characters, so, you know, I happen to have a lot of alts, too many. So my gear is really spread out. But people with fewer alts that can spend the DKP on their mains, like Lamia, they have really impressive, very impressive gear. The resists are crazy. The hit points AC, it's crazy. He's got all the AAs, as you can imagine, all that stuff, so... yeah. It's pretty cool if you ever wanted to get ideas of what items you can get. Just, you know, base your selection of Lamia's profile. I don't know if anyone in Temerity has such good gear. I think it's Pithy or Slouch. Slouch might be his Shadow Knight's name. I believe he's Temerity's top Shadow Knight. Yeah, Slouch. That's another one you can check out. They also have really good gear. Play that snare song? Yeah. But I mean, the beauty of a free boxing server is that you can kind of play whatever you like. You can make it work. Whatever trio you decide, whatever combo you decide, you can either be creative, kill some stuff, have some fun, or, you know, join another human and complement them. So even if you play 3 wizards, you can join another group and be the DPS, you know, that kind of stuff. It doesn't really matter. But that's one thing I like about this server, is that you can just play whatever you like. Guild will accept you and love you and cherish you no matter what you play. Except maybe if you play like 3 bards, I don't know how useful that would be. Might be a little bit unusual. 1 bard would be useful, but 3 would be like, eh. You're not gonna be DPSing. I guess you can play like... yeah, because 1 bard can, you know, twist multiple songs, right? So you don't really need 3 bards to play all the songs. But even like 3 wizards would be, you know, useful. 3 beast lords, it's all DPS, the pet stacks. 3 wizards, yeah, I don't know. Maybe three warriors would probably be useless. That would be too hard to play. Because playing multiple melees is really annoying, so usually when people box it's like 1 melee and 2 casters or something like that. If you play 2 melees it becomes really difficult. You can't realistically, you know, follow the mobs and auto attack, and it's a little bit much. Try to play multiple melees. I struggle when I'm on raids and I have to play, you know, 2 melees. It's usually very inefficient, so I wouldn't recommend it from an efficiency point of view. Casters are much easier. Like if it's a pet class, you can just pet attack. Cast a dot or a spell or a nuke or whatever. It's fine. And if you're healing, then you don't have to constantly heal. You know, you throw a few heals here and there, so it's manageable. But multiple melees would be terrible. Oh, that's a good question. If you go on the TAKP forums, there's a thread, like a boxing challenge thread, a boxing challenge thread. I've posted there a few times. When I kill this kite, I'll give you a link to the thread. But that's like the summary of the toughest things I've killed. Let me try to think what the more recent one would be. Probably Rumble Crush is pretty tough. What else? Rumble Crush Vadin, that's the stuff I kill regularly, is Landakar. Those are all treeable, but that's, I mean, that was like a year ago, I think. I haven't really hit any things like that recently. The toughest one most recently would be doing the ring war with 2 humans. So me and Wellix, we managed to do it with just the 2 of us. So that was quite tough. Still is incredibly tough. It's like so tough and stressful. I don't even want to do it. Like we always just recruit a friend to do it with us, because doing it with just the 2 of us is not worth the stress. Shooting some arrows. Yeah. Pew pew. Rangers are quite fun. I hope to play a ranger in POP. The goal is to do like a cleric enchanter and a ranger, and then the ranger can shoot some things with the bow while the pet tanks. I don't know how that's gonna work if... Oh yeah, I should be able to manage aggro. Oh hey Crush, what up? What up, Crush? Welcome. How you doing, my man? That's right, cheeky bricky. Yeah. Ha. Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yes. That's the vibe I'm going for. Look at these guys. Look like some degenerates. But look at that, 100 million views. Nice one. Nice one. I'm just getting a link for Ziff. This one. So if Ziff sees this thread, this is the $3 challenge of mobs. The toughest mobs have killed. That'll answer the question. Did you want to EXP Crush? Did you want to get some EXP on your mage and stuff? If you're around, I can drop the bard and you can come join. Yeah, sweet, alright. Be my snaring buddy. Nice. Just camp out the bard. Oh yeah, he does. He's a little bitch. With his Yellow bullshit. It's like it's similar to what Thucydides did with Talc in West TOV. That was a really long fight as well. All right, Crash, while you run over, what I'll do is I just got to AFK for a moment. Just come to the spot and I'll invite you, but I'll be right back. All right. If you're on the way, I will go and work on the pull, and then I'll just invite you when you get here. Perfect. Easy. Man, it's getting really windy here. Feels like the house is shaking, but it's just the wind. Very scary. I had an appointment in town, and I thought I could get it done today before it started to turn really badly. Like the weather's going to turn really shitty over the next few days. So before the weather turns bad, I was like, I'll get this appointment out of the way, get it done, and then like 2 hours before the appointment, they cancel, and I'm like, ah. I might have to go in tomorrow while the weather is really bad, so I'm gonna get all wet. It's gonna be crap. So pray for me. Gonna get rained on. Oh no. Right, Mr. Trexon, Mr. Craven for the win. Sweet. So yeah, you know the drill. Wait till about 80% before you start snaring, and then wait till bat is about 30 to 40% before you start nuking. Ideally like 35 or something. And then we'll win.
Nails are like candy to robots. And we'll eat tires instead of licorice.
No, we won't.
Maybe you won't.
Nice. The sounds are working. Good stuff. All fixed. Yeah, so the sounds weren't working a few days ago. It was a problem with the service provider. They had some major issues. Apparently they had to change the file links or something in their backend system. Something broke, so all the files were pointing to the wrong location, so nothing was playing. I joined their Discord trying to get help, and it was just like 50 people whining. I was like, alright, guess it's not just me. But all fixed, yay, and I added some more sounds, so it'd be quite a soundboard of things for you to choose from. Yeah, thanks for your continued support and stream viewing and hanging out. Good times. What time is it over there in your part of the world, Mr. Ziff? Ooh. Stra or Sebi XP? Are you talking about Jugs? Jugs, trusty Kunark mobs. 3 a.m. Damn. That's 7 hours ahead, so I think that's Eastern Standard Time, right? I believe that's EST. I think it's like 3 a.m. for a Crush as well, unless he's in Pacific, in which case it'll be 1. Sweet. Really? This skill might be faster. Is it just because you're killing mobs so much quicker, right? And there's more mobs. Yeah, and if Trek is up, you're kind of screwed with Jugs. You can't kill the ones in the lair. You're very limited. And Trek sucks now. God, I hate him. He is lame. Yeah. Plus more interesting loot. You know, you got like some random drops. You could get a Tola Bracer, or I don't know how much that's worth these days, but it's a little bit more fun. Variety, you can get a Rune-Branded Girdle, Sibilician Berserk Cloak, Obulus Death Shroud. Oh, if you get an ODS, that's big money. That's good stuff. But Disco is fun. That's really bringing back the old school. Plus, you can easily finish mobs with finishing blow and stuff. But Disco would be super easy. You can just destroy those mobs. Even nukes probably wouldn't land. Like all the wizard nukes would probably you just shrug them off when you're a monk. Disco's pretty good. I mean, that's where the party's at, right? That's where the ladies at. Yeah, nice. Let the damage shield do the work. You do monk, mage, shaman. That'll be quite a good DPS, actually. Monk Mage Shaman would be sick. Do you want to come snare this crap with the Bard, please? Yeah, Pally would be. Oh, Pally tank would be easy. Plus, it'd be more fun than God, those snakes. I just get claustrophobic in those walls. Yeah, 3 people's minimum. It would be very tough. You need just the right composition, and you would need all the mana buffs you could get. So ideally, you'd like pre-buff with you know, KI and spiritual purity and all the good stuff, and then a little bit of thoughts and prayers. But three's the minimum at the moment in this era. Maybe in POP might be able to get away with less. But you need a hybrid tank, you need a rampage tank, you need 2 clerics, you need a rampage healer, and you need a bard. And then ideally, the rampage healer would also be a shaman, so you could cripple Dane. And you could do dots and pet DPS and all that stuff. But yeah, you need, I think that's the minimum. Two clerics is very tight. You would need mod rods as well. Maybe if you had a beast slot for DPS or something, you could do Paragon, which would be a huge help. You'd probably even do like 2 Paragons. It'd probably refresh by the time you're killing them. But 4 is a lot less stressful. Same with Yellowneck. You could do it with 3, but 4 is less stressful. And I'm not talking about Walex doing a 3-box thing for like 2 hours. That doesn't count. That's just ridiculous. That's just dumb. Ooh, yeah, nice, man. Because you can spawn Dane and just get him killed. Like if you wanted to, what we usually do is the person that spawns Dane gets to choose 1 item, so they get to pick whatever loot they want. So what you could do is you could probably auction off your Dane spawning stuff or something like that. Just say like, can you kill him for me and I'll pick an item or something, and then you guys can keep the rest, sort of thing. Like someone might be up for that. Where you're doing your shawl and then you know spawn Dane and you get a free item, you get a belt or a cloak. It's a good one to pick. Cloak is nice. The hammer is also very good. It's good for melees, like for a warrior. It gives you good AC and resists, and it doesn't stack with focus, but you don't always have shaman. So that's a good one. But the belt always, you know, it always drops, so it's a good one. I think I've got so many of those damn belts. I've done so many Shawl quests. It's a very, very, very good quest. Like even in POP, I'm like, oh, when am I gonna upgrade this? Because 20% more buff duration is so good. Not to mention Flowing Thought 3 on any class, you know, like a bard. Maybe sometime in the future, if I get some item that also gives buff extended duration, and I have, you know, like Flowing Thought 20, then I'll replace it, but that's not gonna be for a while. So, we've got like a little striker that might be down if you wanna you want to do that, we should be able to organize four or five humans or whatever that can do a Dane snipe, and then if you're spawning him anyway for your shawl, then you just kill him, get a free item, get some loots. Usually, you know, you kind of offer it to your guild, but if you're not in a guild, then you know you may need a crew of mercenaries. Hire some mercenaries. But yeah, that belt is so nice because it gives you resist as well as aura of battle, which is a little bit of regen, so it's great for shamans, monks, necros. Good times. It's also good for like DPS classes like rogues or rangers. I think I've got that on pretty much every character. It's such a good belt. The best part is when you get the boots from King Tormek. So you know you kill KT and give his head to Jelinek, and you get the boots or the helm. And then you kill Dan, and you get his belt from King Tormek, and then you get these boots. And then you kill Jelinek and give Jelinek gloves to King Tormek, and then you get the gauntlets of dragon slaying. So you get like the whole set of your Velious Conqueror items. Yeah, that's right. Get the gauntlets, you get that, and then you get the Dane belt, and then you're like, boom. I have defeated Velious. I have all the leaders' heads turned in. Good times. There you go. That's I like the whole set. Belt of Dwarf Slaying, Gauntlets of Dragon Slaying, and White Dragon Scale Boots. That's your, if this was Diablo, this would be a set piece. I wish EverQuest had that, you know, mix and matching. Did they ever implement that actually in future expansions? Like if you get a whole set of armor, you get some bonus. I assume not, but that'd be quite fun. Yeah, I remember heroic stats and they added the luck skill. That was pretty cool. That's such a cool idea when they added the luck skill. That's like applicable for everything. So good. Such a good idea. I wish we had that. Boost that RNG. So if it worked on like rolls. Imagine. That'd be ridiculous. Gives you weighted dice. Ugh. We joke that if you donate to the server on the donate page or like donate directly to the devs, that it gives you a RNG boost. So if you go to the website and you donate, you get like a boost for a month. If you're having a bad streak, just go donate and that'll all be fixed. Ooh, look at this pathing. This pathing is just so good. Yeah, that'd be quite cool if like the devs could do that. They could just hit a switch. Plus 20% better dice. One thing that I would love would be EXP potions or something like that. We had a little marketplace where you could donate to the devs and get perks. Like, I don't know. If you wanted a name change, it would cost you $100. Or you could buy EXP potions, or gender change potions or some shit. Yeah, nice. I wonder if the devs could code something like that, something discreet. Because you're not allowed to profit, but if it was hidden and nobody knew about it, then, you know, maybe you could get away with it. Ah, yeah. Man, getting the Legacy of Yakesha expansion would be so good. It'd be such a big quality of life boost. The fixed raid window would be a big one. Yeah, that's one thing I wasn't sure about when I started playing here. I was like, oh, it goes up to PvP, that must mean we get maps, because I played on P99 a little bit before the server. I was like, oh yeah, you know, you'll get maps because it's PvP. But nope. It's like half an expansion ahead of us, unfortunately. Excuse me. Snare, 80%. So you can come now, do the thing. Just trying to avoid proxy aggro and snare aggro. Hey, Milk Crate. New World, is this some new game? I had it mentioned. Seen some people play it. I don't actually know what it is. I need to look it up. But does it look like New World? Does New World have 20-year-old graphics like this crap? I don't know if this is complimenting EverQuest or if New World was intentionally made to look like a 20-year-old game. Oh, cool. Alright. So the people that made this, I believe, well, one of the original people, he unfortunately died last year, I think. But, the people that made the original EverQuest, a lot of the developers and creative people are making, called Pantheon MMO. Oh, John Smedley, okay. John Smedley's around. Alright, I'll have to check out New World. I've seen some streamers, Level Up Larry, he was talking about it. Yeah, Pantheon, coming out before the world all goes underwater from global warming, definitely. Before the sea levels rise 2 meters, I think Pantheon is going to come out. Alright, cool. Well, John Smedley is definitely one of the original makers of EverQuest, so I'll go check it out. But I think the plan is to play this until Pantheon comes out, so I bought the pledge for Pantheon that lets me play the alpha. So if the alpha comes out like next year, I think I'll be playing a little bit of that. comes out next year, that'd be great. Maybe the alpha will come out 2023, but who knows? Maybe 2022. Yeah, John Smedley's, he's a legend. He's been around for a long time. He's one of the OG people. Original Dungeons and Dragons gang. Been around for a long time. So I don't know what other projects he's worked on. I don't know if everything he touches turns to gold, but he certainly had great success with this game. Alright, nice. Did you also kill one of the toilers? I saw like a toiler run through, and I think you killed him with your pet, right? Oh, Mike, you're hilarious. Oh, great. That's awesome. I have to watch this for now before I'm allowed to play Fortnite. Fucking genius. Yeah, nice one, Crush. I can tell you must have used your pet because you didn't end up almost dying trying to kite this. Trying to kill a little toilet.
Why are these jeans all covered in hair?
Why is anything anything?
Exactly. You get a pretty good dad there if he's making you watch EverQuest. These are the rules. You're not gonna get food unless you watch EverQuest. Educational. Good parenting. Alright, let's see if I can kill some monkeys. We've got some hunters up.
The Destructo Beam is the most powerful destructive weapon ever wrought by man, capable of vaporizing Earth into vapor.
Yeah, Destructo Beam. We're gonna mess these monkeys up with the Destructo Beam, that's for sure. Do you watch C-Lab? Do you know where the quotes are from? I assume people are familiar with Adult Swim, but some of this younger generation maybe never saw it. I hope it's still it's on air. Oh really? Damn. Okay. It's these cartoons from the early 2000s. What they did is they reused some of the assets from the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons and just made it like really silly kind of Monty Python kind of comedy, you know, like sketch comedy, random stuff. Have you seen Aqua Teen Hunger Force? Have you seen that one at least? That's the same kind of Adult Swim stuff. It's been a bit more popular, I think. People, there was a few movies and a few albums, and people are more familiar with it. But C-Lab is another one of those silly. Same era. Around the same era as Robot Chicken, yeah. Robot Chicken was the claymation one. This was just drawn, but I think it was before. But some of these shows had like 6, 7, 8 seasons, right? So they've been around. I mean, a lot of them. Aqua Teen Hunger Force probably not as good. Season 8, 9, 10 kind of thing. but still quite popular. Same with Sea Lab, not as good on the later seasons, but it would have still been streaming when Robot Chicken was out. But yeah, it was for its time, it was very good. Like, there was nothing like it. It was around the same time as South Park, I think. I think South Park was before, actually. But there you go, you can click my silly quote buttons. And then might get you to watch the shows or something, I don't know. I don't know how much TV time you get. I know I'm very behind on my TV shows. I've seen only the first episode of Squid Game. Everyone's like talking about it for the last month, and I'm like, oh, probably watch this. And I've seen one episode. It was really good, but hopefully I'll get to watch more of it over the next week or so. I just want to watch it with my girlfriend, and so we've got other things to watch, and don't have that much TV time, so time is precious. We watch like movies and stuff that we both like, some horror movies and stuff. That's pretty good. Yeah, but everyone's talking about Squid Game. Pretty good. Like a twist. It's not a completely new concept, so some people that may have not seen the previous similar ideas and concepts, they think it's like super amazing, mind-blowing kind of stuff, but it's just an old idea that's been modernized. Which is great. I like the art style. It's very well styled, nicely shot and that kind of stuff, so I'm all for modernizing things and rebooting things if they're done well. Kind of. I think it's like Battle Royale in like a game show. The concept is, I mean, you kind of learn this in the first episode, so it's not really spoiling anything. But the idea is that, people, like desperate people, they get stuck in a game and they just have to, do fucked up shit in the game to survive and get by and stuff, and yeah. All these people are talking about like, oh, it's such a commentary on society. It's like society, these people that value money over personal well-being and preservation and survival. It's like, shut up. Not everything is some social commentary, woke, leftist crap. It's just a good TV show, man. It's just like, it's a cool show. It's a cool series. Arty, it's yeah. People just like seeing other people die for no reason, it's fun. Oh yeah, Clarkson Farm, I haven't heard of that one. Cool. Man, it sucks how bards don't get any extended range stuff until like way later. There's that AA that makes your songs have a longer distance, or AE songs, but it doesn't even work on anything good. It's just crappy group songs. Doesn't work on AE songs, doesn't work on damaging things. It got fixed. Slightly out of era, but yeah, something that makes High Sun have a longer duration would be really good. Oh yeah, Top Gear. Top Gear's great. Yeah, that's a very good show. Yeah, I love Top Gear. Yeah, even the old episodes are very entertaining. Did I get rid of all the hunters? Looks like it. Oh! Yes! Yes. No, Jeremy Clarkson's great. That does sound familiar. Yeah, it's just like, I got all the stuff. I was making a show with all my own resources, like, screw it. Yeah, cool, man. That's good. That's educational. And Richard Hammond would have, like, you know, Richard Hammond's race course where he just gets into a car and just crashes. Come watch me crash. My private Nuremberg race course. Oh, another show that I started watching recently. I think we've only seen like maybe four or five episodes. Is American Horror Story. That's a good one. It's well shot. It's like nicely styled and pretty good story. I think it was season 10 or something. The latest one we started watching. It's pretty good. Yeah, I never watched it until apparently each season is independent, so you don't need to have seen the previous stuff. And I think they reuse the same actors, so they just play different roles. It's like a completely different world they create, and it's like a whole season of a one cohesive story, and then it's something different next time. I just jumped in season 10 randomly and never seen it before, and yeah, it seemed pretty alright. It always seems to somehow end up with zombies or some shit, right? Like some weird stuff happens. It's like, yep, they're vampire, zombie, mutant things. Of course. It's like a flowchart, you know, like, are the baddies doing this? If so, then this. If this, and then zombies. Always freaking zombies. But yeah, my priority right now is I need to make some time to watch this Squid Game before it gets ruined for me for all the memes. Every day I'm scrolling through, you know, social media and people are just making memes, and I'm like, oh no, don't ruin it. So I gotta watch that. I've also got to do some study up and trying to study for some exams. Gotta learn new skills, you know how it is. I had a busy day at work today, so I'm not gonna stress too much about study. I just want to play some games. But tomorrow I might have to do some study. Damn, there's so many robes. If it wasn't totally pointless, we could kill some robes and make some room for other mobs, but I don't know if they all share the same spawn cycle or if they're separate. Feels like they're separate. So, just avoid the robes rather than do anything about it.
Carrier has arrived.
Hey, nice. Now you know that song, Crash, surely. Yeah. Carrier has arrived. Nice. Glad the soundboard stuff is working. So the reinforcements come. Crash and his bard and his mage, and is definitely the cavalry. He's the carrier, fully upgraded. Pew pew! Got like random StarCraft sounds as my various ringtones and stuff. I love the Dark Templar. This swiping sound. Good one. That's like my text message sound. It's kind of funny when some people recognize it. They're like, was that a Dark Templar sound? I'm like, yeah, boy. And then I've got I think, the lurker sound was my emails. And then I had something else that was a siege tank sound. I can't remember if I had it or if I took it off because it was so loud and terrifying. But like when that siege tank just like... just feel it raining down on you from like elevated ground. When he drop ships the siege tank on a hill and you can't see it, it's gives you nightmares. That's when you're like, shit. Should have built more mutalisks. What's this guy up to? Right. Pulling up that kite. I do miss StarCraft. I wish I had more time to play. I'd play all the games. If I could like clone myself so that I could like do study and play EverQuest and StarCraft at the same time, that'd be great. Oh. Maybe I've had two monitors and I was like single boxing in PvP and like an EXP group, like playing a rogue or something. I think I'd be able to play a StarCraft game at the same time as EverQuest. I think that'd work. You just kind of like assist and auto attack and then just go back to StarCraft. That'd work. Really? RPGs, that's quite cool. Yeah, StarCraft 2 had really good mods, like really crazy mods. Kind of like there was those mods that created an action RPG similar to that game Ghost, if you remember when they were making the Sarah Kerrigan first-person shooter action RPG kind of adventure game called StarCraft Ghost. And then they cancelled it because they didn't have the technology, like they couldn't make it as good as they wanted it. Like the graphics weren't as good or something. But in StarCraft 2 mods, I think some people recreated that, so that was pretty cool. You could do like a first-person shooter kind of universe RPG thing. It looked pretty cool. Those modders are pretty creative, pretty crazy. Oh yeah, Unreal Tournament was great. Yeah, I've played that with my friends a lot. Unreal Tournament is good fun. Did you ever play Tribes? Shazbot. Maybe I'll put that sound clip in. Maybe I'll get the Shazbot. That can be the opposite of Owen Wilson's WoW. Shazbot. Tribes was dope. It was this really big open world. The technology they had at the time was really impressive, so that's why people loved it, because yes, I did. I played Tribes Ascent. It was actually really good. I think it was a true homage to the original one. Tribes Ascent felt very much like the original Tribes. I played it quite a bit. It was very good fun. So the appeal of it was the fact that it was this really big open world, and the technology they used was really well optimized. So even on shitty PCs, you could play it quite well. You got quite a high frame rate, and there was this big open world thing, and it was real fun. And what you had was people, like all the characters were just on jetpacks. So I think there was like super fast pace, and you would just be like zooming through on these like jetpacks, just flying through the terrain. And you had some cool weapons, like you had the Mortar Weapon, which like lobbed this giant mortar. And if you managed to like kill someone with it, it was so cool. Like this giant big grenade that would just fly for miles. And it was like these bases, you had to like, you know, destroy the other base and that kind of stuff. And it had this discus thrower, so it was kind of like, you know, a rocket launcher, but it was actually this giant like laser disc that you threw, and if you hit people in midair with the disc, it was so sick. Yeah, so basically people were just flying in the air through these jetpacks, and you had to like predict shot this discus, this flying disc. So it's kind of like, you know, the rocket launcher in Quake 1 basically, but the mid-air shots were impossibly like more difficult than Quake ever was, because the characters were so far away and they could just zoom through the jetpack and the landscape and stuff. So if you actually got like a super long distance disc, it was just so sick. If you want to be impressed, maybe look up like Tribes YouTube trick shots, like mid-air like shots and stuff, like people would have videos of a collection of, you know, people's mid-air trick shots and shit. It's so good. Yeah. So you had the light scout, you had the medium, and you had the heavy guy. And of course, you know, the heavy guy had more hit points and armor, but they moved real slow. So they were just this like fat, slow-moving target. Yeah, Ascent was real good, man. It was a little bit was it just cosmetic purchases? I don't recall it really being pay to win very much. Like, you may have got a few different items or something, but it wasn't like overpowered. I think I spent like $50 on it. Because it was free to play, but you had, you know, like a little bit of in-game currency and stuff. So I paid a little bit to support the devs, but I never got into, you know, paying like $300 for free games like some people. Yeah, Tribes Ascent was great. I got into it quite a bit. Yes, bar. Oh yeah, another cool thing in Tribes that was new when it came out back in, I don't know, 97, 98, was each character had like a bunch of preset voice commands. So you could do like, you know, defend the base or attack here or whatever. So you'd press like a bunch of buttons that would give commands, and everyone on your team would hear it. So people could like voice chat communicate without having a microphone, by just pressing the buttons. Yeah, bro, sick. Yeah, it was really good. It was really high on teamwork. So you had to coordinate with your team on, yeah, people trying to break the base and then get that flag and fucking fly like the wind. Yeah, CTF was good, man. I loved CTF back in the Quake days and Quake 2 days, bit of CDF, bit of Team Fortress, all that good stuff. Yeah, I don't know about the solo stuff. Maybe there was like an RPG. Yeah, you had like vehicles. Tribes Ascent had vehicles. You had little, kind of like Halo kind of vehicles. And yeah, you had to destroy the other base, and there was these like walls and shit, like yeah, spies, yeah. Base protection, base destruction, fast moving, high-tech stuff, cool weapons. Yeah, it was good times, man. Here we are playing EverQuest, and we're like, oh man, I want to play some Tribes Ascent. It was Crash, he started talking about Unreal Tournament. And I was like, yo, gotta play some Tribes. Because Unreal Tournament was around the same time as Quake and Quake 2 and stuff, so I think I was really big into Quake 2. So I think I skipped the original Unreal Tournament, but I played Unreal Tournament 3 with some friends. So some friends preferred it over Quake, so I would like make a compromise when we'd have LAN parties. I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll play Tribes, and then I'd just get the railgun and just smoke them. Yeah, that was good fun. Good times. Unlimited jetpacks. Yeah, I mean jetpacks with like railguns. That's pretty sweet. I did love like those Quake 2 mods or you know, Unreal Tournament mods where it was just like Instagib, where it was just people jumping around with railgun as the weapon. But it'd be same with tribes. You'd have just the discus weapon, and then everyone just zooming around with jetpacks and shit, trying to get mid-air shots. That was good fun. Oh yeah, Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah, man, that was great. KOTOR. In KOTOR 2, I played both of those. That was amazing. You could play as the light side or the dark side. You could choose your path. You want to be a Jedi or a Sith Lord. Oh, I never played the MMO. I just played the RPG. Cool. I didn't know there was one being made. But yeah, I assume... what was that one with... the KOTOR, the one that came after, that had like 3 sequels, and people were really mad about the third one? At the ending of the third one or something? What's it called? What was the... It was the same guys that made KOTOR, I think. Mass Effect, yes. Yes, you got it. Yeah, I played Mass Effect 1 and 2, I think. I never got into the third one. Because apparently the graphics were really weird in the third one or something, right? I think they rushed it. And all the models were like really weird. I just remember hearing the feedback of everyone being mad about the character models being naff. Funny. It's always like you have this epic game franchise, and then like the publisher always messes up the game by rushing it. They're like, you gotta get it out by Christmas, and everyone's like, bro, it needs another year of development. No way, that's it. Ships now. All right. Enjoy the bad press. Same with Cyberpunk. That was I think they needed another year of development for that one. Oh, really? Was New World rushed as well? Well, this is why Pantheon's going to be good, right? Because they're not rushing it, because it's been in development for 10 years and they got some private funding. And they're just taking the sweet time. So, you know, when it comes out in 20 years, it's going to be great. Just like Star Citizen, right? It's going to be the greatest game ever. Yeah. You know it, Pantheon buddy. This is going to be a Pantheon stream in no time. Yeah, damn, it sucks when they try to rush it. Those damn publishers. Yep. This is called Bard Swarm Kiting. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling a giant train of mobs, and then I'm just being outside of their melee range. And I'm casting songs on them and stuff, so I'm trying to like AE all the mobs instead of fighting things normally, which is boring. I'm doing some bullshit. And then my friend over here, Crush, he is nuking right here in the middle. I can't really show you because if I try to do anything, I'll stop and die. So in the middle of this train of monsters is another bard who is snaring the monsters to make them run slower so they don't catch up to me. But yeah, normal combat in EverQuest is me swinging at the stupid monkey. Yeah, we've got another bard who is snaring, and then the mage here is nuking. Yeah, we're just doing some bullshit. This isn't typical EverQuest combat. This is just some hacks bullshit. So a bard has the ability to run really quick. They're the fastest class in the game because they have these movement songs. So what I'm doing is I am running around, gathering up monsters. The zone is really good for gathering up lots of monsters because it's got a mechanic where it's got traps, invisible traps. I'll show you what I mean. You can see how I can see all these mobs. So the specific mobs that I try to avoid, all the rogue mobs are bad because they're caster mobs. So if I try to run in a circle, the mob will stop and cast a spell, and then when it stops casting a spell, it's going to be in the wrong position, and it's going to hit me and stun me and kill me. So I can only do this with monsters that aren't casting mobs, so pure melee monsters only, which are wolves, bats, these little alien dudes, skeletons, mind worms, and specific monkeys. So I run around the zone. You'll see when I run over an empty area, sometimes see where it says a skeletal drudge. Yeah, see how these mobs popped out of the ground? They're trap mobs, so it's supposed to like be a nuisance. You're running through the zone and you know, this thing pops up out of the ground. See how this thing popped up? It's supposed to be like, oh no, a trap mob got me. I'm now in trouble because I'm trying to, you know, kill one monster and now this bat has popped out of the ground to kill me. So it's like, you know, it's a bad thing that this trap spawned on you. But when you're actively trying to get as many monsters as you possibly can, you run around and you pop the trap mobs on purpose, so you can pull them and bring them to you. So typically this zone would have, I don't know, maybe like 2 pulls worth of monsters for the AE stuff. So without the traps, you'd kind of like, you know, do 1 pull, kill 50-60 monsters, do another pull, kill 50-60 monsters, and that's it. And then you'd have to wait like 15 minutes for things to respawn. But with these traps, what it is they are a lot more prevalent. You don't know where they are, so the problem is that like they randomly spawn around the zone, but they're invisible. You don't know where they are, so you just have to run around the ground in a specific area randomly until you pop a trap mob. You can be running around and nothing could be spawning, and then you get to a spawn that just happens to be like 5 trap mobs in one area, so you spawn them and then just keep running around over and over and over and over. No. You can't go through all this content solo. This is an exception. So this is like one spot in the zone. Because typically when you're fighting high-level monsters, they have an ability to summon you. What summoning means is they will call you to themselves. So you're trying to fight a monster, and if you try to run away, the monster will be like, "Get over here!" It'll call like, "You will not evade me." And every 6 seconds, they will bring you closer to them, so you can't just like try to damage them and outrun them. But in this specific zone, it's an exception, because this zone is it's just how it was made. Is monsters are higher-ish level, but they're never summoned. So you can outrange them. So typically what people would do is they would fight, you know, like 1 or 2 monsters from distance, and they could mitigate getting hit because they're fighting them from distance. It's not typical, so this is not usually how the game mechanic works for higher level content. But this zone has a combination of basically infinitely spawning mobs. You just kind of have to run around the trap invisible areas and get lucky and pop these monsters, as well as the ability to outrange monsters. So with that combination, and also having a bard, which is the fastest moving class in the game, you have an ability to do what I'm doing now. So because you can kill lots of monsters at once, this area used to like yield more experience than it does. So it was deemed a little bit too powerful. So what they've done is the developers actually made a change to the experience gained. So you don't gain as much experience as you used to, because that would just be ridiculously overpowered. So even though what I'm doing looks really, really good, the experience rate has been nerfed, so it's not as good as it used to be because you can do this. So it's kind of like a trade-off. It also takes a little bit of luck, a little bit of know-how, and some help. but it's just an alternate way of getting experience. Is instead of killing fewer high-level mobs that take longer to kill but yield more experience, you can kill a large number of lower-level monsters that don't give as much experience each, but just kill them in like a big bunch like this. And you need, ideally you need some help, so doing it just by yourself is a little bit trickier, but if you have a friend who also knows what's happening, you can do this. Yeah, I think EQ1 is busier than EQ2. I think it's because of higher population. It certainly had more expansions, so they're both still going. So both games are still active in their community, and both games still have new content being made and that kind of stuff. But I think EQ1 is more popular. Yeah, man, enjoy. Thanks for stopping by, Modwolf, and may you dream of Shazbot, skiing and shooting discs. That'd be quite cool. Imagine if you control your dreams. If you could be like, tonight I want to dream about playing tribes. That'd be so cool. It's actually what got me into EverQuest again. Because I used to play back in 99, 2000, 2001, 2002. What got me into EQ again was I was dreaming about it occasionally, like every few months, every like 6 months, I would have like an EverQuest dream. So, you know, I quit, didn't play it for like 5-6 years, but I kept dreaming about it, and then I was like, oh, something's telling me to come back into it, and then I looked into it, and I, you know, started playing on the progression servers, got my old accounts back, and that kind of stuff. So, now I'm, you know, living the dream. But no, the content, it's actually quite hard. I mean, you can go through some content from previous expansions. You can go through it solo. So if you're, currently we're in the 4th expansion, so Kunark, Valius, original Kunark, Valius, Luckland, sorry, 3rd expansion. You can kill content from previous expansions with some skill and some requirements, like if you have really good gear, etc. So yes, you do have ability to tackle some old content. But from the current expansion, you're very limited. So any like raid content, anything that needs, you know, like 2-3 groups of people to kill, typically you would need at least a few humans to do it. The top end stuff, you need, yeah, of course, all your friends. You need 20-30 humans. But this is off-peak time, so this is like the quietest part of the day. So fewest amount of people are playing, and any sort of raid content or difficult content is going to be limiting. You're not going to have the amount of people that you need to kill it. You need to kind of do it a bit earlier in the day if you need, if you want to kill and have a need for reinforcements. So at the moment, all I'm doing is just getting a little bit of EXP, just killing some lower level content, stuff that anyone can kill. I'm just killing it quicker. So instead of killing like 1 or 2 of these monsters at once, I'm killing like I don't know how many this is, 60 mobs at once. So I'm expediting the experience gain for some creative tactics. Lots of bullshit, basically. But it's good because it is quiet, because there's no competition and the zone is not populated. So typically you'd have other people hunting here, killing some of the monsters, so you wouldn't have as much built for yourself. Yeah, if you wanted to EXP with some other friends, you'd probably do it in a different spot. There's other more friendly places where people hunt together. This is more like a secret little hidden spot where very few people do what I'm doing, but it's fun. So it's not very typical. If you watch a EverQuest stream from someone playing 12 hours from now, it'll be a different experience. They'll just be doing more of a typical dungeon crawl kind of scenario. It'll look more familiar. But yeah, this is definitely high on the bullshit scale if you ever inquired about EverQuest mechanics. So yeah, I'm just outranging most. If I stop running in a circle for a split second, these things will kill me instantly. And if my fast movement spell wears off, I'll die instantly. If anything out of the ordinary happens, I'll die instantly, so the risk is very high. But with some luck and finesse and help, it's possible. So what I'm doing now is I'm running and I'm damaging these monsters with specific damage over time songs. So you can see this is the health of a vampire bat. He's at 80% health. And then when this happens, my friend runs in with his bard and casts a snare song. A snare song is something that makes monsters run slower. So, right. Around 80% health, he runs in and starts snaring. He waits until a specific time because if he does things too early, then he'll die and then I'll die. It all requires very precise execution. And then what I do is I keep casting these damage spells, and then once the bats or the other animals get to a specific low point level, then it's safe for his magician to run in and start doing some nukes. There's very specific nuke spells that can hit unlimited number of targets. Typically a nuke is one target, sometimes it's 4 targets. But there's very, very specific spells that have unlimited targets. They're called point blank spells, which emanate from the caster. So the limitation is that you can't cast these from distance. So a normal spell you can cast from distance, like 100 range or 200 range or whatever. Whereas point blank spells, they emanate from the caster, so they have to be like inside the monsters, and they have like about 25 or 30 range. So when this bat gets to about 35% health, then he runs in with his magician and starts casting nukes, and you're going to see the health of the bat drop a lot quicker. So now it's 22%, 11%. Now things will start dying. So this is some teamwork makes for dream work kind of action. You can see he's killing them. Bat has been slain by Trexon, casting nukes. You can see some critical spells. Be quick enough, you can see sometimes he casts a critical nuke and that kind of stuff. But yeah. If you watch EverQuest at some other time, or another server or some other streamer that plays in a more typical group scenario, it'll be very different than this. But yeah, so old MMOs like EverQuest are really popular. So there's both progression servers, which is the live game. So the live game is the official game, where you play on the official game servers. You can play on the latest expansion, which is the current game, and you can play these things called progression servers. Now, progression servers are capitalizing on the idea that people like the classic experience, that it's a nostalgia trip. So when someone plays, like someone like me, that plays EverQuest because they want to pretend that they're like 15 again and playing their old favorite game they played when they were young 20 years ago, and they want to play something familiar, is they play on these things called progression servers, which is basically the game as it was when it was released in 1999, and then you kill the boss, and then that unlocks the first expansion, and then you kill the boss of the first expansion, then it unlocks the second expansion, and so on. So the game kind of progresses through time. So it's called a progression server because you kind of go through, relive the original game, and then you relive the first expansion, and so on and so on. And then a lot of people just play for the first, I don't know, 5 or 10 expansions, and then give up and go back to, and then just go to the next progression server. But it's very lucrative for the company because what they do is they make the progression servers premium content. So the original game is free to play, but if you want to play on the progression servers, you got to pay subscriptions because they're premium servers. So this is extremely lucrative for the company because the appeal is there of people wanting to play the original game and also compete for content. Because when you play through content that gets unlocked and released in a linear fashion, you can claim server first. So, you know, like when a second expansion launches, there will be people that have killed the boss for the first time. So it's a competitive aspect as well. And also it's quite lucrative because people spend in-game currency to buy in-game items. So when everybody starts on the new server, everybody starts fresh. So everybody starts with nothing. There's no, you don't have any loot, you don't have any money. You're basically a fresh new player, kind of beginning the game anew. But you do have all the knowledge, right? So you know where all the valuable shit is, and you know if you put in the time, you can get some cool stuff that you can sell for a lot of money, etc. So progression server is kind of like this race to be first, to kill content, and also get items and sell items for a high price because people will be racing through content, stuff will be valuable, you know, stuff that is complete garbage now on a brand new server where everybody has nothing is really, really valuable. So people can make lots of real life money out of it because the game economy kind of embraces RMT now. Back in the day it was frowned upon, but now you can actually buy Chrono, which is like an in-game thing that extends your subscription. So you can spend $15 and buy a Chrono, which gives you a month of subscription, but that Chrono is tradable. You can actually play and trade with other players to trade items for Chronos, which is effectively the same as real life money. They have a black market value. So on the official store, it's $15, but on the black market, they're like $8 or $10. So people farm valuable items and they sell them for Chrono, which is, you know, effectively selling them for potentially hundreds of dollars. And then, yeah, people have the nostalgia trip. They're first, they compete in a guild, and the appeal is definitely there because they've been doing it for like over 10 years now, I think, maybe like 14 years or 15 years, and it's just like a cash cow money printing thing. And another great aspect of it is the developer doesn't have to actually create any new content, they're just rehashing old content, right? So they're like re-releasing the old expansions for the 15th time, and people are just loving it. Which is where we come in for these emulator servers, because the simulator server is not, it's not the game as it is on the live servers, it's the game as it was back in 2002. So this particular server is called the EQemulator project. What it is, it's emulating. I don't know if you're familiar with WoW Classic. It's basically like WoW Classic. Was that Legend server? What is that? What it was? That emulator knockoff server that was doing WoW Classic that got shut down because they got DMCA'd by their lawyers or whatever. And then World of Warcraft Classic got released by official Blizzard team. So this is kind of like the emulator version of the progression servers, but what it is, it's recreating a very specific server. It's recreating the Mac server. So what happened at the peak of EverQuest's popularity, they branched out the development to the Mac. So the game was PC only, and then sometime in 2002, they decided they're like, oh hey, EQ is really popular. It's the best MMO. It's got 500,000 subscribers. It was the absolute peak of EverQuest. They ported the game to Mac They wanted to make it playable for Mac players as well, not just PC players. So what they did is they basically cloned the game, changed the code a little bit, make it compatible with Mac, and released this EQMac server called the Alcabr server. And then as EverQuest's population waned, so World of Warcraft came out, EQ became less popular, they neglected the server, they forgot all about it. Oh, that's a good question. Let me just finish the story. So they forgot all about this Mac server that they created back in 2002 and kind of left it without any updates for like 8 years or something like that. So the original EQ game kind of carried on and they forgot about this Mac server. So this Mac server was actually a perfect snapshot of the game frozen in time from 2002. And the players just loved it because all the game mechanics were like what the game was like back in 2002. So all the emulator community was like, oh shit, we gotta like capture all the information that we can so we can recreate this, because what ended up happening is when people found out about the server, it started to get hacked because all the old hacks still worked on the server because the code was never touched. So the server eventually got shut down. The official server got shut down because it was just a liability, right? They didn't really have anyone to support it. They made it free to play, so they weren't getting any money out of it, and players were hacking, so it was just like got a bit ruined. So this server is recreating that original 2002 Mac server because that is what the peak of the game was. So it was back in Planes of Power expansion, which is the best expansion, and there was also when the game was like the hardest and most challenging with regards to quality of life improvements. So quite a lot of the client limitations exist in this server to basically make it exactly the same as it was in 2002. So that's the background of this very specific emulator experience. And your question on, yes, so if you play on progression servers, on TLP servers, what happens is the TLP, the progression server, will be a progression server up until that server catches up to EQ Live, which typically takes about 2-3 years for the server to catch up to all the expansions, because the expansions release in an expedited fashion. So it's a bit quicker than it was back in the day, because back in the day, like, you know, to get to the 25th expansion, you would need to wait, I don't know, real life 22 years, because that's how long it took back in the day. Obviously, the progression server is not going to take 22 years because they release expansions every like a month or 2 months or whatever. So you get this kind of like sped up experience, and the server eventually catches up to the current expansions. Because the expansions unlock quicker, usually takes about 2-3 years for the server to catch up. And then once it catches up, it no longer becomes a progression server, it just becomes a live server. Sometimes they merge it with an existing live server, or it just becomes a normal free-to-play live server. A lot of people move on from that server well before that, so it's very rare that somebody would play on the server from the very start, then play all the way to the very last expansion, but you know, it happens. But yes, at that point it stops being a progression server because it's now caught up to EQ Live. And your question on what would you recommend to a new player? So, are you wanting to play EverQuest 1, or are you wanting to play specifically on this emulator server, the one that I'm playing on, the TAKP? Because on TLP, the official game servers, the population is really, really high, and you will always have somebody to play with, because there's a lot more people playing. Okay. I'd probably recommend TLP servers. So what you could do to familiarize yourself with the game is the game is free to play. So you could just play on live as is. Download the official game live client and just go and there's like a tutorial that will walk you through the game mechanics the experience of doing like quests and killing things and whatever. Because this game is very old, right? It's not very newbie friendly. Because modern games, they have like a whole, introductory tutorial sort of level thing to familiarize yourself with game mechanics, but EverQuest never had that, right? So EverQuest just kind of throws you in and it's just like figure it out, right? You're just fumbling around, no idea what the keys do, what the buttons do, what the hell is going on. This is like quite off-putting for any new players that want to play EverQuest, because they'll just get thrown into this world and they're like, oh, what do I do now? Where's the exclamation mark on the NPC? Like, where's my quest guy? Whatever, right? So none of that actually exists in the original EverQuest. Like, you don't even have in-game maps, right? On EQ Live, it's a lot more newbie-friendly. So you have in-game maps, you have a whole tutorial level, you have quest NPCs that guide you, that give you ideas. So my recommendation would probably be to just download the official game client, go through the tutorial, familiarize yourself with the game interface and the game controls, and then see if you want to play on the progression servers. The progression servers you have to pay for. I believe it's $15 a month, which is very different than free. So you could get away with just playing normal EQ Live for a little bit, see how you like it, and then maybe like after 6 months or a year, if a new progression server launches, you could join on that progression server. It's quite fun. Like when a new server starts, it's very exciting, right? Everyone's just doing crazy stuff. It gets very competitive, it gets very very busy. And then the excitement usually dies down a little bit after the first, 2-3 months. So if you really wanted to try out, EverQuest specifically, I'd recommend just giving the free-to-play client a go. See if you like it, familiarize yourself with controls, and then maybe like after 6 months, go and play a progression server, give that a try. But this server is far too newbie unfriendly to recommend to people that have never played EQ. It does still sometimes happen that new players come and play that have never played EverQuest, and somehow they figure it out and somehow they like it, but it's very rare, because the game interface is very unforgiving. A lot of the time you're battling the controls. You just have to really love it here to put up with it. A lot of the modern interface enhancements don't exist here. Just like, why can't I click on this? Why can't I press this button? You're just like, well, that's just how it was, bro. That's just how the game was. So it can be very frustrating for players that don't just like play this for a nostalgia trip and are willing to put up with anything just to live the old experience again. Yeah, I mean, you seem versed in your RPG games and stuff, so I'm sure you'll pick it up. But as an introduction, I'd recommend, like, even if you want to play here, I'd still recommend going to say EQ Live, just to get yourself familiar with the interface. Because if you start here, you'll just be like an absolute noob that will just die to weird shit, and then you'll be like, where's my corpse? And it's like, oh, you have to retrieve your corpse, and you're like, what the hell? And then you'll just be stuck with no body and no ability to play or kill anything, and then you'll be like, oh. So yeah, not everyone is living the nostalgia trip. Yeah, it is fun. Like, people still play RuneScape, right? RuneScape is an even older game than... Oh, no, actually, it's not older. It's about the same time as this. But people still play old stuff, you know, Ultima Online, EverQuest, even World of Warcraft Classic, you know. I mean, that came out like almost 20 years ago now. So I'm all about the immersive old school games that have good gameplay, but it's not just about the graphics, right? Because obviously, you know, the graphics here are pretty good. I mean, I don't need better graphics than this, but a lot of people will want more polygons and shadows and all this fancy bells and whistles, and I'm like, bro, I don't care. You know, when I play competitive games, I turn off all the graphics so I get a bit of frame rate, right? Like, you know, in my Quake, I make it look like shit so I can play better. Or like StarCraft as well, you know, you turn down all the models and stuff. So I don't care about the graphics, it's about the gameplay. But yeah, if you play RuneScape, I mean, this will be right up your alley, right? This is it. This is the classic experience. And this server is the server that I'm on. It's very old school and it's a very niche nostalgia trip. But the community that it has is really awesome because everyone is kind of like in the same space, same mindset. Everyone's in their like 30s and 40s or 50s or whatever, and is just like reliving the old school EverQuest they used to play when they were kids, right? When they were in their teens or their 20s or whatever. And it's just like reliving the. It's kind of like a nice familiar thing, right? Because you're like, you got your shit going on in real life. You know, you got your work, you got your family, you got your bullshit, and then you can just come home and just relax in this safe 20-year-old familiar nostalgia, you know, fantasy land. And I totally get it because for me it's the same thing, you know. It's like this like escapism where you're like, everything's alright, you know. This is my safe space, you know. My childhood. You know, I may be an old man, but I'm just teenage boy killing my bats and skeletons. You know, it's that's what it's all about. So the old nostalgia trip is it's good times. Then you know you got friends that you share it with, that everyone's got the same idea. Everyone's kind of, you know, enjoying the same old content for years and years and years. And you don't get new stuff and you don't care. It doesn't bother you. You love it. You're like, I don't want new content. I don't want crazy new bells and whistles and fancy things. I just want my simple old graphics and my trusty old hunting area that I used to fill in when I was. Yeah, song window would be nice, Crush. That'd be great. There is some quality of life improvements that would make it significantly better. So this server, the EQMax server, stops at the expansion called Planes of Power. And there was one expansion that came out like 1 year later, maybe less. It was kind of like a half expansion, so they didn't really introduce much new content, but what they did is they just improved a whole bunch of in-game quality of life related things. Like they gave you in-game maps, they increased the bank space, they fixed the raid window, and they gave extra slots for buffs. So you can see right here, I have 15 buff slots, and buff slots are very precious, right? So you kind of like, you want to get all the buffs, but when you hit 15 buffs, you can't get any more buffs. On EQ Live servers, there's an additional window called the Bard Song window. So it kind of gives you extra 5 buff slots, which is really huge. And this came out in this half expansion, so it's like if the max server just happened to be like 6 months later, just a little bit more ahead of the content, this client would be like so much better. But the game would also be easier, right? So the appeal is that because we're limited with the UI, because the songs are limited and some of the spells are limited, and some of the abilities on the monsters are, you know, like overpowered and broken and that kind of shit, it actually makes the game a lot harder, which people like, right? So people like challenging content, even if it's like artificially challenging because you're battling the UI, right? it's still a block. It's still a difficulty hurdle that people just have to put up with and overcome. And it's what we get, right? It's the experience of the original EQMac. You have the same limitations, and you can't fix it because technologically it's not possible to fix. We do not have the source code available for the Mac client, so you can't fix some of these in-game UI elements that they're like fixed. So you could fix it on the back end, but the front end, the client would mismatch, and the client would not be compatible with the fixes. So it's there, it's broken, and it's just how it was, and you just deal with it. And it's totally recreating that experience, which is why this next server, this emulator server, is a more authentic progression experience than EQ Live. Because in EQ Live, what they've done is they've kept the modern user interface because they didn't want to scare people, right? Because the old user interface was so limiting, it would actually be off-putting for players. So to maximize revenue and to maximize the player base. Oops, now I'm getting my ass whooped. To maximize the player base, what they've done is they've put the old content in, but they've actually kept the new user interface. So it's not a true, authentic, old school experience. It's fun, and it prints money. People love it. It's got, thousands of people playing. But for a purist like some of us, for absolute purist Nazis like some of us, we see that as a downside to our immersive experience, right? So we want to play with both hands tied behind our back, with like a bird pecking your eyes while you try to play, because that's how it was back in the day. If there was a way to force players to play on dial-up, I don't know if you even know what dial-up is, but you could force people to play on like connections that would like randomly disconnect you for no reason. I'm sure the developers would do it. They've like artificially tried their best to emulate buggy experience. Like the reason why these monsters that I'm killing here in the zone, the reason why I can only pull 80 of the maximum is because of artificial code they made so that the monsters behave similar to what they did behave like on the Mac server. So the Mac server was running on just like, it was made in 2002, right? So it was running on 2002 year hardware, and it was like a single Macintosh box, right? So it was like this one old school Mac server with limited CPU and RAM or whatever that ran the whole game for the few hundred Mac people that played here, which meant that you could easily overload the server, right? So if you played too ambitiously, if you try to do what I was doing now by pulling all these monsters at once, the Mac server would basically crash. Like it would like disconnect you from the game, and the zone would crash, and it would all just break, right? Whereas with modern hardware, when they were recreating the zone, these limitations didn't exist. So you could pull like 100 monsters, 200 monsters, 300 monsters all at once and kill them all at once, which kind of gave you way too much experience. So the devs were like, well, you guys are exploiting because this isn't what the game was like back in the day. What you can do, your abilities are superior to what people could do in 2002, simply because the hardware is more modern, right? Because it can handle, the CPUs can handle me pulling 200 monsters and killing them all at once. So they artificially created a bunch of code called the Kite Limit, which makes the monsters behave erratically when you hit a certain threshold. So if you try to pull more than 80 monsters at once, the devs actually created specific code in there that would make them behave weirdly. Like the monsters would just start not following you. They would start going in random directions. They would start teleporting on top of you, like trying to kill you and that kind of stuff. So it's basically a software method to recreate the hardware limitation, if that makes sense, right? So through code, they try to emulate what the game would have been like back in the day if you try to do some similar bullshit like this. So this is why I can only pull a certain number of monsters, because back when this first came out, we broke it, right? So all the players were like, oh hey, you can do this now. Oh shit, you can pull all these monsters. Oh, you can pull like 300 monsters. And the devs were like, get lost. The devs were basically like, okay, you guys broke it. Screw you guys. I'm gonna like put in some code to basically make you go fuck yourself. And all the players were like, oh, but I wanted to kill everything at once. Oh. And then eventually we were like, yeah, okay, fair, whatever, sure. Sure, you're right. So yeah. It maintains the old school feel up to a point whereby sometimes some non-original content has to be tweaked to make it more original, if that makes sense, right? So like modern hardware has removed some limitations, but we have to put those limitations back in, otherwise the game will be imbalanced. Good times. And then when the next expansion comes out, I believe it's due in a few months. The devs been working on it for like 4 years now. So the last expansion should get released hopefully in like 2-3 months, maybe. There will no doubt be similar things like this where what you are able to do now is different than what you were able to do in the year 2002. So therefore, balance adjustments may need to be made so that it's not overpowered. So, certain players with certain abilities don't get an unfair advantage because they're able to do things that people couldn't do back in 2002, and they can do them now with superior knowledge or hardware or whatever, right? So there'll be some balance tweaks and adjustments because the idea is to kind of recreate the whole experience, the whole feel, not like game mechanics like for like. You want to also create the limitations, be it arbitrary limitations or limitations in game knowledge or something like that, right? Because it may have been the case that something was possible, but like only one person on the server knew about it. Whereas if everybody on the server knows about it, then it becomes a problem because the game will be unfair and not fun, and yeah. And then a lot of it is subjective, right? So it's not a case of you kind of knowing that something may be wrong, right? You're playing by the game rules, you're using the correct game mechanics, etc. But for whatever reason, after some period of time, it may be decided that, oh, actually this is unfair or whatever. So as Crush rightly points out, it's a matter of like, if something seems overpowered, it might not be obvious that it's overpowered. It might, be decided to be overpowered at some later point in the future. So just like, go hard. If you discover something or something seems powerful, like just take advantage of it because it may get changed and it's not your fault. It may just be an arbitrary decision for whatever reason. So it's going to be lucrative to, play aggressively for the first 6 months or a year because you may get a little bit ahead. It's not going to be like game breaking, right? It's like no one really cares because everything balances out over 5 years or 10 years. Doesn't really matter. But you know, if some specific mechanic allows you to get experience a little bit quicker, and it might be like ambiguous whether or not it's overpowered or not, you know? Like, people play something, then like 2-3 months later, they're like, oh, so this player can do this if you do this and this and this. Is this bad? Is this good? There's going to be discussion about it. There's going to be a vote, etc. And then they may be like, oh, we'll make it slightly weaker or something. Or like, we'll change the spell so you can't do this, etc. So it's not like you're like this badass exploiter. Because if anything's an obvious exploit, of course, people need to report it and then fix the bugs, etc. But if something is like ambiguous, and like, I don't know, there's some mechanic or some quest or some thing that spawns monsters that, you know, spawn like 50% quicker than they should, you know, like you get experience, like whatever, I don't know. If there's some bullshit arbitrary thing that gets decided on and then it gets changed later, but if you're able to, you know, get like a little bit of extra experience or something in the meantime, then go hard and use this before people find out, or you can keep some secrets to yourself if you find some cool spot that not many people know about, and then like, you know, 6 months later it becomes too popular to the point of people competing or like griefing each other, or it becomes a nightmare for customer service representatives. Then sometimes they change it because of that, not because there's something wrong with the mechanic, but because people are simply too greedy or too competitive. Sometimes people can, you know, the devs can make decisions based on people's behavior. Yeah, if you discover some cool spot that nobody knows about, go hard. So it'll be quite fun when the new expansion launches, because there'll be lots of cool new spots. I mean, like, if you're the first guild, that unlocks the high level content, right? So if you like kill the bosses, get to elementals or whatever, plenty of time. If you're the first guild that gets there, you're gonna have all the spoils to yourself. You can have exclusive access to some awesome content. Then you and your friends may progress a little bit quicker because you don't have competition. Right? So competition is going to be melee groups, just like 6 monks. Is that what you're doing? Crush. Oh yeah, did that monk group happen? Was that is that today? Or is it like next week or something? There's this guy on the forums that's trying to make a old monk group where you go crawl a dungeon or something. And he's like, I think he's only in his mid-50s or something, so he's just gonna be like there riding the coattails of like, style geared monks that are like fully decked out. He's gonna be like, oh, let's go to Sebelis and shit, and Crush can like solo half of Sebelis himself. And like, whoa, this monk group is so cool. We did it. We killed light blue con mobs with Nick style gear, guys. We did it. Oh, it's got a shroud. Yeah. Ollie. Or whatever his name was. Oh, he's got Seans? Oh, fuck that. I don't have Seans. Look at that. I'd like to see you guys fucking farm Sarah reports with your monk group. I like to see that. Show me that. Or like Com 2 or something, or like farm insignias or something. Yeah, suck on that one. See how long you can farm insignias with your 6 monks. When do we have Imp next? Do we have it before New Year's? We must do, surely. Surely it must be like in a month or 2. Need to get my Seons. Need to get my monk shit. Do monks get critical spells? Oh yeah, not too far away. So a month from now. Today is actually 11/10 in a normal country. 11th of October, you know. In the rest of the world. Ah, damn, don't get no critical life taps now. Need those crit life taps, baby. Not like monks aren't overpowered as shit already. You get some cool AAs. I'm loving it. But so do Beast Lord, damn it. So many I gotta get on the Beast Lord. Gotta get Paragon, I gotta get MGB, I gotta get Pet Hold. And that's like not even the cool shit. That's just like that's I'm allowed to go to raids. It's not even all the cool stuff you get. Not even tanking AAs, not even damage AAs. It's just like my must be the stall to ride pass. That's like, how many is that? 20. Pet Hold, Paragon, and MGB, that's 20. Like shit you would not even use in a group. Maybe you'd use Paragon in a group, I guess. Yep, proper AC is good. Too bad you don't get 35 AC. Yeah, could be tankier, but I mean, rip. Kinda sucks that you're in an era where it just so happens that you're like in the most nerfed AC state. But whatever. With all the AAs, you're fine. You're just fine. Especially with all the regeneration and all the riposte stuff. And if you got a nice life tap weapon, oh yeah. Love those life taps. Yeah, exactly. Just get Bis gear and 200 AAs and you can kill in Severus. It's fine. You can kill in Kunark. I don't see a problem. Game's so easy. This is why I'm trying to get some AAs on my Ranger, because the Ranger can't tank for shit. I mean, it's, you know, it's working as intended, but I would like to get some better tanking AAs. Like at least all the combat stability and agility stuff. Getting crits and like healing things, that's a pipe dream. That's gonna be a long way off. Maybe in pop when I'm like I'm trioing with Enchanter, Cleric, and Ranger. If I'm doing that, then I may be able to get all those life tap and spell crit and healing A's and that kind of stuff. But gonna be a long way off. I need a good life tap weapon first. A Krylia handled broadsword would be really nice, but that is far too expensive. I'm gonna spend 30 DKP on a weapon. That's just ridiculous. Why did my music stop? Is it done? What? Yeah, I think I'm over the 255 stamina. Buff slot saving is actually quite nice. That shield has got a good resist. I like it, but I was trying to get it on the Shadow Knight, but I didn't. It didn't happen. got too expensive. Oops. Ignore that button. Yeah, that Ash quest is... No, not the cough! Right back at you with the bad hotkeys. You'll ruin everything. Blur this robe. He's being a little bitch. There's nothing wrong with the Ashes quest. I think like Slouch is still using that or something. It's a really nice item. 50 AC is ridiculous. Some people value AC over hit points and resist and stuff. So some people are just like, bro, Ashes is biz, so don't even care. Good. Well, keep in mind that you're going to need more stamina and pop, right? Because you'll get that planar power AA, so you'll need 3 or 5, so it's not quite wasted, I guess. Oh no. Oh fuck. Rep. Gonna come get my corpse. I'm dead near the Dawn Shroud zone. I missed myself. I assisted of a robe and got myself on target. Yeah, I missed myself. And then the mine worm that was ahead missed me. So I had one mob that was ahead that was supposed to break the mez, but it swung and it missed me. So that's a lot of bullshit. Yeah. So a mob was supposed to break the mez, but it didn't. It missed me because I've got too many evasive AAs apparently. So yeah, there you go. My first death from a mez. Good times. Maybe you should have coughed me. Maybe that would have helped. Shouldn't have ducked that cough. It's all your fault, bro. It's all your fault. So yeah, I should be on a hill just in front of Dawn Shroud. Oh yeah, you got the kite. Nice, 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 nice. Keep the dream alive. I guess that's the downside of an unresistible mez, is you you mez yourself. Okay, I think if you just cough yourself or something, that'll be easiest. Because, yeah. Need to be no aggro for the snare stuff to work, otherwise I have to get like tons of aggro and stuff. Yeah, awesome. Sweet. Easy peasy. Thank you, sir. Good rescue. Any robes? Sweet, thanks for the dragon res. Good rescue. Hopefully I don't miss myself again. No guarantees. No guarantees in EverQuest. Just because you rescued me doesn't mean I'm gonna do a successful pull. Oh. Come and get death touched, harm touched, fun times. Look at this crap. 291 magic resist, and I get arm touch for 900. Not cool, man. Maybe I should have got the Resistance ring on the bard. Nah, don't need to heal. It'll be fine. Heals are for pussies. The bard BP clicky heal is fast enough. Okay. As soon as I'm not busy trying to membler these stupid robes, I'll just chain heal my myself with the clicks. The annoying thing with the trap mobs is like they do despawn if they're not engaged, so it's a little bit annoying. Because you spend all this time popping the traps and then you lose aggro and then they despawn and you're like, no, my precious mobs. My precious goo. Iron burrows. That was a risky move. Getting that mine burrow. If I got stunned, I would have been in trouble. Would have died again right before I bring the train back. Would have been some wrist slitting goodness. Yeah, sounds good, man. I think I might call it as well. Might go to bed. Might be bedtime. I gotta go back to the office tomorrow, and it's gonna be raining, and I gotta walk, and it's gonna take me fucking 25 minutes. So I gotta go to bed. Might be a good time to wrap it. Call it on a win before I just start chain dying again. If we have just one death. Oh no, I got some robes. Fucking look at this. Look at this crap. Look at this crap. Tusk, tusk, tusk. I gotta high sun these robes so that I can get more mobs, because we might be at the Kite Limit, I think. Feels like it. But I need to high sun these mobs without dying. That's the goal. Is don't die. Okay, one more, and then hopefully we'll be on range. Oh yeah, lovely. So one thing with robes is you just don't know where they might go. Sometimes when you ice on them, they might still be within leash range, and sometimes they come through the wall. So keep an eye out on any robes coming through, and just be ready to like mez them or high sun them again. Probably best if you just high sun again. If you see a robe coming through, just give it a high sun, and we'll do our best to carry on killing. Oh, whoops. Hang on. Can I make you leader? Oh fuck, I can't even click accept. Can you invite the ranger? And I will try to take the invite before stuff starts dying. What I'll need you to do though is when you come in and start snaring, can you just DA real quick? So snare, then DA. And what I'll do is I'll accept the invite. And then I'll click off DA and resume dotting. Oh yeah, nice. Oh, look at this little stupid toilet messing up our shit. So do you have DA up? If you do, just pop it now if you can. Yeah, pop it now and then I'll quickly take the invite and switch back to kiting. Because I gotta stop for a sec. Oh no! Oh dude! How did they catch up? A lot of shit. Damn it. Okay, hold on. I'll try to salvage this. What a lot of horseshit. Yeah. In hindsight. But no, I've never had trouble DAing, and oh yeah. This is how you call it a night. I usually am able to DA and re-kite. I don't know what happened. I guess snare wore off or something. Yeah, okay, I guess this is a good way to call it a night. Just to die. Works every time. It sucks. It was a good pull as well. I want a lot of shit. See, it's kind of funny, like everything is fine up until like a point, and then you just start dying from bullshit. You know when it like rains at pause, right? All of a sudden it's just like, oh, all these things are happening. Cool story, guys. Can you consent Resi Boy, REZZIBOI, and I'll drag the corpse a little bit. And res you. Man, it's so annoying when you fucking spend all the time to get the pull and then they get ya. Oh, can you make fashion leader real quick? So I can give myself cellos and drag? Was this stupid, this stupid cleric doesn't have J-boots or whatever. Not how it's supposed to end, man. It was supposed to be one less pull and then everything was gonna be alright. Everything was gonna be alright. You promised. You promised me. Res. Did you want to do one more pull? Did you want to get revenge? Do you have time for another 10 minutes, 15 minutes? We gotta make this right, okay? I will not be able to go to sleep if we just you know, leave it like this. Okay, Kraven is leader. Do you wanna invite Howcan and then invite the Bard when he comes back. Well, this might be a good opportunity for me to get my meditate skill up. Look at that, 219. That's some room for improvement. It's just an elaborate ploy to get my meditate skill up. All right, here we go. This is it. This is it. Hopefully it'll be a bit quicker because stuff should have respawned by now, so I shouldn't have to walk around so many traps. We'll just be able to grab the crap. Instead of getting slightly less experience in a ranger, would you like to kill everybody? Yes. Feels very Squid Game-like, right? Just, you know, just get everyone killed instead. Success. It's what the crowd wants. We did it for the spectators. Oh, so many rogue mobs, so annoying. Oh, 3 days? Oh my god. You're gonna be a busy beaver collecting all those AAs. What's up, Azum? City hype. Yeah, Lachlan's Grade is gonna keep you busy. Plus, I just want to know what's gonna happen with all the Vex style loot. How you kids gonna get the VT loots? I know it's gonna be cray, but just how cray? Oh, New Worlds. I gotta check out New Worlds. Everyone's talking about it. I need to look at some streams or something. Maybe I'll do that after I go to after I end this stream, but before I go to bed, maybe I'll go check out New World. What everyone's talking about. These kids and the TikToks and the Fortnites and the Dabs and the Yeets and the New Worlds can't keep up. See, look at all these mobs. Look at all these delicious mobs. So many mobs. And already at the Kite Limit. So New Worlds, it's a John Smedley game, right? That's what someone told me. Oh my god, so many mobs. We've got at least 2 kites here, Crush. You know what's gonna happen? You know what I predict? Oh, region locked. What a lot of shit. Really? Region locked in this day and age? What is this? 1995? With your region locked DVDs? God. Wow. That's quite exclusive. Really, that's ridiculous. So like East Coast people can't even play on the West Coast. That's ridiculous. Pretty silly. Not even people on the continental US can play with each other. Nobody would ever have friends on the East Coast. East and the West having friends? It's like the Republicans and the Democrats being friends. Unheard of. That'll never happen. East and West Coast people living side by side. Unbelievable. Alright, I think we've got enough mobs here. If I try to pull any more, then if a toilet comes roaming past, it might mess everything up, so I better not get any more, but maybe one more. Maybe one more will be alright. Alright, I'll have to check out New Worlds. See what all the fuss is about. You kids are up to. Oops, gotta take my breastplate. Alright, here we go. The Revenge of the Kite. This is it. Don't fuck this up. Got my songs loaded. Nothing can go wrong, okay? Oh, pings, jeez. What do you have, like over 100 millisecond ping? Poor you. Oh. Here I am with like 300 ping. Living my best life. Is the game ping? Is the game like latency sensitive? Because I mean EverQuest isn't, so I assume most MMOs aren't. Maybe it's like the original EverQuest where you know get bad UDP packet dropouts and you just disconnect. Everybody loves the authentic experience. Real-time combat? No shit. Okay, that's very different. Okay, no, that ping would definitely matter. That would be huge. Oh. Okay, that sounds cool. Yeah, an MMO where ping matters. I would guess I'm not playing that one. There wouldn't be any servers nearby. Yeah, I'm not playing a game where I have to dodge attacks with like 200 ping. That's not gonna happen. Always happens. Hope that doesn't happen with Pantheon. I hope they keep it hardcore. Was it gonna be just open PvP? Holy shit, that's brutal. That's like Lineage 2. Did you ever play Lineage 2? That was a good one. Yeah, man, that was brutal. So they had karma, they had reputation, right? Did they have something like that in this game? Where like if you just PvP people, you get bad karma, and then you just like this red player that's just notorious. I did enjoy Lineage 2. I played a little bit of the live one, but I played a lot of the beta one. And beta was fun because, you know, the game was going to reset. So, you know, characters didn't matter. It was just going to wipe your character. Yeah, opt-in PvP is dumb. I mean, yeah. Like, no, I'll only fight you. It's no ganking, you know, I'll only fight you when I'm ready. And it's just like, what's the point? Yeah, no, Lineage 2 was great because you had... It was a cool system where if you attack someone, then you like turn purple temporarily. And if they fight back, then it's kind of like consensual PvP, right? Then you become like a dueling thing and you can kill each other with no consequence to your karma. But if you kill somebody and they don't fight back, then you get bad karma. So if you just gank them and they're like, no, I don't want to fight, and then you just kill them, then you get bad karma. And if you do it too much, you turn red, and then anyone can just openly attack you anytime. So when the game was in beta, me and my friend were like exploiting people's inexperience with the game, right? So everyone was kind of like a noob, and we kind of figured out that you could have some fun with people. So I would hide in like a building, and then my friend would like take off his gear and look like a noob and just like hit someone accidentally, you know, like accidentally. And then they would like assess the situation, and if they thought they could take him, then they would hit him back, and then they would both get flagged for PvP. And then I would come in with my high level character out of like hiding and just fucking gank this guy. It was so good. We would totally troll. These people would be like, oh, I'm a noob, and then I would like come in with my high level guy and just like kick his ass. And we kept doing it. It was very fun. And then when the server was shutting down because it was beta, we just went full out on like PvP. So it didn't matter your reputation, you know? So what I did is I had a high level character, and you could have movement spells that stacked, right? So I was like a ogre shaman of some sort. And then I had a movement buff. Like I had kind of like a Spirit of Wolf spell. But what you also had, you had this potion that would make you move quicker. And they stacked. So I basically had like bard speed with this character, and I could just run. So I would go to like I traveled as an ogre to the human newbie spot and just started killing them all en masse. I was like level 30, and they were all like level 5 or 10. And I was just massacring them all. And then I was like, you know, of course, red. So they would all try to band together to get me. And there was like 20 people chasing me. And I would just pop my potion and pop my Spirit of Wolf spell. And I'd run them all. And then I would run around the island. And what you could do is you could camp out while running. So you would like exit the game. And then your character would just like fade out of the game while you're running. But because I ran ahead, they would not know where I left. So what I would do is I would just like, the whole town would be chasing me, and I would just like camp out while running when I lose them, and then disappear, and then like leave for like 20-30 minutes. And they would all be like, oh, it's safe now, it's safe, it's all good. And then it would all go back to like EXPing, and I would just come back and start killing them all again. Then the whole town would chase me, and I would just repeat it. In the end, I ran out of potions because I only had enough money and enough platinum to to keep it going for so long. But it was the best fun I had. They never killed me because I could just outrun. And then everyone was like trying to get the high level characters to this human spot to kill me and stuff, and I was just like, nope, just run around and camp out. It was really good fun. But that was just full on open PvP. You could just kill anyone and just deal with the consequences and stuff. So yeah, good times. All right, sweet. Thanks for the EXP fun times. That was good. Oh, let's see. Yep, still need more tanking AAs. Still need lots more. All right. If you go and crush, I'm gonna call it a night as well. Go look at a video of New World and see how we go. Thanks for the EXP. Thanks for the fun. Good to hang. Always a pleasure to kill some shit. And yeah, I always need more A's. Always need more A's. Alright, everyone on the stream, thank you so much for tuning in. Gonna call it a night, gonna go to sleep. And yeah. Hope you all have a good evening, good rest of the night. And until next time, thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch you later.